mean? What's up with y'all? What's happening? Oh, yeah. Oh. Ain't nobody signed up a business for me. Huh? Oh, yeah.
How extortion and organized crime runs deep beneath the scenes of rap.
Hey, look, if you wanted to come politic, you could have came in politics.
Organized crime in the hip-hop scene can be traced back to the 1920s when the Mafia moved to the U.S. and started claiming territory in New York, New Orleans, Detroit, Chicago, and Philadelphia. Surprisingly, most of the earliest rappers emerged from those areas, meaning they were born into an organized crime system. As these rappers became popular and moved out of the cities, they took some of their friends with them, and the ones that stayed back became street kingpins. From crime bosses like J. Prince to victims like 6ix9ine, let's analyze the intricacies of organized crime in hip-hop and how these groups thrive. Organized crime in the hip-hop community. Extortion, noun. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. When you hear the word extortion, what comes to mind? Taking something forcefully, right? But in the hip-hop community, extortion comes in multiple forms and through any means. It's the real definition of getting what you want, no matter what you have to do. When a rapper visits the hood, whether it's for a tour or music promotion, the gangs that run the streets expect the rapper to check in with them, so they gotta get permission to do anything in the streets, because that's their way of giving back. But is that all there is to it, or is it an intimidation tactic? In 2003, Eminem and Paul Rosenberg were bullied by a group known as Crips. This group is notorious for intimidating rappers and making ridiculous requests.
And so, if you hear what he says, you know, he's like 40, 50 Samoans. He throws lyrics out, so man.
Around this time, Booyah Tribe and Be Real worked as security for Eminem because he said that he was being bullied by the Crips. In return, he gave the Samoan rap duo a verse. Even Eminem, the rap god, isn't safe from extortion. To some people, like Joe Budden, rapper turned podcaster, extortion was an important part of the hip-hop community. Some of these groups took money in exchange for providing security to the rappers while in their hood. But it's just them saying, we won't disturb you as long as you do what we want. Apart from money, they sometimes ask these rappers to let up-and-coming artists in their hood open shows or give a feature to new artists. Victims of extortion. As much as these gangs think they're doing a noble deed, they are also chasing artists who can't stand the intimidation from these gangs. One of those rappers is Rick Ross. Sometime in the early 2010s, Rick Ross was due to perform at the Summer Jam in Detroit, but he was confronted by Trick Trick, checked, and couldn't perform at the show.
What was that whole situation?
You know, the situation itself, like I say, you know, that's me and that man business, you know. But, you know, as far as, you know, the movement itself, you know, Detroit is a no-fly zone, whether people like it or not. You know, and if it wasn't...
The reason Rick Ross wasn't allowed entrance is no shock. Detroit is the no-fly zone. It means rappers who are not from the city and don't support artists from the city can't perform in the city. Trick Trick made this law in the city because he noticed how rappers were coming and making profit in the city without supporting them. So he claimed ownership and made rules as he deemed fit. But after Rick Ross couldn't perform, the event manager took to the stage to explain the situation.
By 100 individuals outside, we have tried to pull every resource together and ask him to come back. He is in fear of his life. Real shit.
He said Rick Ross feared for his life and may never come back to Detroit. But Trick Trick didn't seem to mind how much had gone into bringing Ross to Detroit and felt the event manager told the crowd too much.
Took his dumb ass up there on stage explaining, telling the audience too damn much, doing too much. You made it, and then y'all put that shit out. That's what you put out there. That's what you chose to announce about your station's event. I would have never put that shit out.
Not even billionaire rappers are safe from the cold hands of these extortionists, as Kanye West almost fell victim to. During Kanye's visit to Philadelphia sometime in 2013, he was at a diner enjoying a hot meal, but the gangs of Philly had something hotter in store for him. They walked into the diner and grabbed some seats and placed them in front of him. Upon seeing them, he tucked his Rockefeller chain into his shirt and looked around. They told him to relax and bring out the chain. So he sent the text out using his phone to the people he knew who lived around there, and Beanie Siegel showed up.
Yeah. So something was about to happen to Kanye.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real.
It was real.
Yeah, they played, the food was cold. There was only a couple bites taken out of them. And it was just like a weight off. Like, hurry up. And when you come out of here, it's going down.
In Beanie's interview, DJ Vlad asked if he thought Kanye was just being paranoid that day. However, he said that Kanye was right to have been scared because that crew meant business. They weren't even eating and just patiently waited for Kanye to come outside. But with Beanie's presence, they couldn't do anything. Kanye West is seen as more of a suburban rapper, so the crew likely thought they could get a life-changing sum off him. However, suburban rappers aren't the only target of extortion and organized crime in the community, as even hood rappers have fallen victim to. NBA Youngboy.
Big Youngboy shit, man.
Some of J. Prince's boys broke into NBA Youngboy's garage and stole some of his stuff, including the keys to his McLaren and Rolls Royce. They made a video as they seemed delighted to be in NBA Youngboy's garage taking his shit. When the rapper saw the video, he didn't seem moved as he went on Instagram Live and talked down on the situation. Afterwards, J. Prince made a video saying while he was away at a party, he got a call that NBA Youngboy was robbed. He said that he had the keys to the rapper's Rolls Royce and McLaren, and Youngboy should pull up to collect them.
Youngboy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, you know, all that shit that they took, and the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie? You got your Rolls Royce?
NBA Youngboy went off with his reply and said there are so many ways to reach him. Got pissed that Prince went on the internet to post his business.
All that pussy and shit, they don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of niggas around me you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you can get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no fucking publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on
The rapper further clarified that he's not interested in building any relationship with J. Prince or his crew. His cars came with 2 keys, so they were free to hold on to the stolen ones. Youngboy didn't allow any of their fear tactics to get to him, and he stood his ground. Rappers who support extortion. The problem with extortion in hip-hop is most of these rappers have families, kids, and baby mamas to feed, so them having to pay a fee anytime they had to perform in the city, even when they already rented out an event center and other things, seem lopsided. Many businesses run freely in these areas. Even other artists come to these areas to perform, but none of them are taxed. What's crazy about this situation is that some rappers are in support of this and are at the forefront, championing these ideas. Earlier, we talked about how Trick Trick declared Detroit a no-fly zone.
Let me ask you, Trick, because I don't understand what is the no-fly zone. What does that mean? Because I mean, I've come to Detroit and had marvelous times.
We shot movies together in Detroit.
So, but what does this no-fly zone mean?
It was for record labels.
Okay.
When record labels used to have like street teams, and that was back in the A&R days. You know, they would have a promo team, take the artists, you know, A&R take the artists to different locations, and it was like they were just coming to Detroit and wasn't picking up nothing. It was like they would charge the local artists to perform. They would charge the local artists to perform, and the local artists would bring 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people sometimes to this event that will pay to get in. It's like, how is you charging them and they...
But what about J. Prince? J. Prince's name drives admiration and fear in the hearts of many. On one hand, people want to rub shoulders with him, but on the other hand, people want to hide their heads from him, and it's because his reputation precedes him. He's the CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records and carries himself with pride. For him, the most important thing is respect, and he gets that by keeping his end of deals, as long as the other person is willing to do the same for him if the need arises. Apart from his drama with NBA Youngboy, his sons have also pulled some tactics on 6ix9ine Tekashi. The rapper had gone on a rant in an interview and said he wasn't gonna check in with anybody, and whoever wanted to test his gangster could go ahead. This prompted swift action from the Prince's family. When Tekashi flew in for a show, the family waited outside for him to show up. The rapper would later talk about the incident on the Breakfast Club and say the organizers weren't ready for him. They invited him for an event and let an op go on stage, take the mic and ask, "Where's 6ix9ine?"
I said it?
Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
Damn. I swear
don't do
to Charlemagne that I would make sure you the first person I call, and I'll be like, yo, I'll let you hang.
And I'm gonna say it happens.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna change your ways.
But trust me, it's never gonna happen, and everyone in this room guarantee it's never gonna happen.
Did he call you?
I want to talk to one of your OGs. Can you talk to the CEO of the label?
Tekashi never showed up to the concert, and the Prince's son mocked him for it on social media.
I got a question to answer, brother. What's 6ix9ine there?
People believe that 6ix9ine wasn't wrong for deciding to lay low after what happened with Takeoff. R.I.P. bro. Before Takeoff's death, one of Prince's son refused to show up for the birthday party because he felt something was off. Afterwards, the rapper was shot in the head. Jay Prince dropped a warning as the police were picking up suspects. I consider myself a man that's quick to listen and slow to speak. Therefore, to whomever is responsible for putting that bullet in my little nephew's head, let it be known that you can't hide beside me, behind me, or anywhere near me, because I don't tolerate dumb shit. Some critics believe he only made this statement to present the Prince family as innocent in Takeoff's murder. Organized crime and extortions continues to thrive in the hip-hop community because there are rappers enabling it. While it's good to put new rappers on, it shouldn't be as a result of fear, but after the artist's talent is recognized. Also, rappers wouldn't have to pay security fees to gangs if they hired their own private security. The organized crime movement continues to prosper because rappers who should fight against it are the ones championing it. What happens when their upcoming artists become big and go to a new city and get intimidated there? Let us know if you think extortion is a necessary evil in the rap game, or if these kingpins need to chill out. Don't forget to share this video and subscribe. Stay blessed, y'all.
Nah, but check out what I'm saying. I ain't no pee-wee though, so it don't go like that. It gotta be respect. It gotta be respect. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. It gotta be respect. Look, nah. Y'all just come, y'all get respect. I would've got the utmost respect. You see what I say? What's good with y'all? Y'all all right?